Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thine is, oh yeah, the kingdom and the power and the glory, oh yeah, forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth.
All right, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Shamayim. All praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom Wabaruki, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I am joined this evening by my most esteemed Ak Kenaniah. Shabbat Shalom, my king.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, my key. Shabbaton Yasharal. Call Halal Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Barakatah.
Hallelujah. Happy Sabbath. All praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah, the Messiah. Bless you. Hallelujah. So it is another Sabbath Yom. And Israel, Yasha'Allah, I got to be real with you. We got another video review for you. And we've done video reviews, and they've been exquisite. Some of them have been better than others. But this particular video that we're about to review today, this video is going to provoke a great amount of thought. It's going to cause you to hold up a mirror and examine yourself. This is a lesson among lessons. Shaul said, I was a Hebrew among Hebrews. This is a lesson among lessons. And let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm not going to even talk it up. Let's get to it. So these are my good brothers over at our good brothers over at Sons of Thunder, Israelites, and the elder Adawan Yawal was covering this particular lesson last night. If you know anything about Yawal Bar Yahawada, this brother is probably, you don't like when you get compliment him, but I'll compliment him anyway. This is the Socrates of our time when it comes to these lessons, because he really is able to provoke thought in us and through us. So with that, we're going to get to it, and through it, Most High be the glory, the esteem. And if you caught it last night, it's a chance to catch it again. Here we go. The name of this is It's Wicked to Be Wicked. It is wicked to be wicked, because your wickedness has a direct effect on others. That's why it's wicked to be wicked. Here we go.
Shalom, shalom.
Oh, look, we start right now.
Mic check, mic check.
You sound good. You can hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, you sound good.
All praises. Let's get some sevens in the chat if we all good. Canada, we on the call. You can hear me? Y'all
can y'all hear me?
God. Yeah, Canada one. They saying sevens.
I was on there early. I was just kicking doctrine with them. Okay. I was just kicking doctrine with them. And we was having a nice build on the call. We was having a real nice build on the call. Okay. Right now, I'm broadcasting live out of Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm back home, and nothing has changed. The hood has waxed worse. I'm trying to sightsee. I'm driving around. I'm showing my rib. Yo, this where the house that I grew up in. Yo, this where I used to go to school. I played ball over here. This is where I used to get my hair cut. And while I'm taking her on this tour, we must have seen 6 or 7 fiends light up in broad daylight, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
The hood waxed worse, but guess who else I see out there? Amalek is everywhere. Amalek is everywhere, riding scooters, walking around, looking you in your face like, what you doing here?
Wow.
Okay. I was on a call telling the brothers and sisters that they have decided that Jersey City is a historically Jewish community.
Wow. Is that right?
I lived there for 29 years before I moved. It was never a Jewish community.
Right.
They ain't even start coming around until like 3 years before I moved to Newark.
Wow.
Okay. We have to understand the reason that they discrediting us and our movement. I explained it to the brothers and sisters on the call, but as I was making my way over here, I said, man, I'm gonna really need to explain this to the live. There's a reason they discredit the Israelites and speak down on us. There's a reason they do not want you studying with us. There's a reason they do not want you learning from us. They do not. Listen, these Christian pastors, theologians who call us Black Hebrew Israelites and mock our movement, they're not mocking us so that other white people could say, yeah, the Israelites are a joke. That is not the reason that they're mocking our movement. They're mocking our movement so that Black people do not hear us out. We was born with the gift. We not only know the scriptures, we know the doctrine. We not only know the doctrine, we know the histories. We not only know the histories, we know the current events. And we speak with a swagger and a style and a flair. And we're relatable. Obviously, if we approach our people with doctrine, they're going to hear us out and agree because we represent their needs. We are their advocate. So what happens is when you talk to these Christian pastors and Black church leaders who cast us down and say that we're full of hate and we're angry and we teaching heresies, somebody got to them first. It wasn't like I walked up to a brother and I said, brother, y'all were all. I represent the needs of Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Whatever you need, I'm going to fight for you to get it. Also, the scriptures say that you're the greatest people on the face of the earth. And I'm going to prove it to you historically that you are the people of the book. I'm going to rationalize your history through the scriptures. And I'm going to show you God's plan for you. You think I'm going to say that to somebody and they're going to respond with, you sound like you're full of hate. You sound angry. They would never say that.
Right.
They would go, tell me more, brother. Okay, so what leads you to believe these things, brother? And then they would do this. So what happens is these people who are shouting us down, making YouTube channels about us, making endless negative spaces concerning us, mocking us, and denying our right to exist. Isn't that what they say for the sodomite? Isn't that what they say for the trans community?
Right.
You deny our right to exist. So you deny the right of the melanated Israelite to exist. Those people that do that, they're not doing it so that white people could feel better.
Right.
They're doing it so that Black people will not hear you out. Because, of course, our people are programmed to love them and hate their own. But if you guys talk to them, they will be converted. And they understand that. So what they do is they seek to discredit us before you hear us speak. And that's actually against the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to the book of Sirach. They want to discredit us before you hear us speak.
Right.
Give me Sirach 27:7. They want to do that so that your powerful message does not reach hearts and minds. Your own brothers. I was telling Nicole before I got on the YouTube, because I raced to get here. I was telling Nicole before I got on the YouTube that Clubhouse has become so negative, I had to detox and fall back. I've never seen a place that has such a disdain for brothers who study, who are aware, and who are magnetic speakers. I've never seen a place that fosters, here's a place to hate them. That's what happened with Clubhouse. Clubhouse has said, here is a place where I can hate you. Salakia. When them brothers come back, I'll bring them back on. Clubhouse has become a place where you could lawfully hate an Israelite. You could disrespect him. You could talk about his children. You can attack his family. You can lay charges against him with no founding proof. You can completely disrespect him as a man. And not only will we allow you to do that, we'll protect your right to do that and give you an audience for that. That's what Clubhouse has become. I had to fall back. I was coming on that app every day with information that I studied until the sun came up. The wee hours of the night, searching histories, books, researching. Basically became a damn research analyst for Israel. And I was like, I'm going to go on Clubhouse and I'm going to tell all my people these things. And all I was met with was disrespectful bastards who sole purpose was to discredit our movement and demonize us in the eyes of the nation. I had to fall back from that, especially when I watched them slander my own child for nothing. Weird niggas. They got my pictures and they just want to hate me. When I'm just a dude who studies and brings it back to the people like an ant. I study it and here, look what I found out. I did the work so you don't have to do it. Here, take notes. That's what these people have become. I had to fall back from Clubhouse. Like, that's way too negative. And I thought that ministry was important. We had the street teaching, the YouTube ministry, the Clubhouse ministry. I said, man, I got to fall back from this madness. I want to make sure that the call can still hear me because I'm live on the Clubhouse. And The Rock, shout out to Ricky Johnson, brand new member. All praises, man. Thank you for joining us. We got some great content coming to you for sure, especially this week. I want to make sure the call can still hear me. Can the call still hear me? If you're logged into the call, can you still hear me? No. The Rock saying he's having technical difficulties. Do I have another brother that can join the live stream? Or is there a brother that is watching the live stream that can just play it onto the call so that they can hear me? Or I'm going to have to drop off of the Clubhouse, unfortunately, so that I can support the conference call. Somebody say, Khan, we can hear you now. Okay. So what would be the driving force for someone to discredit the Israelites so negatively when they represent the civil rights leaders of the day? When our platform is specifically about the needs, wants, and desires of the so-called Black, Native American, Hispanic, what need would someone have to discredit us and speak evil of us for having that as our mission? Is it wrong to be sold out to advocate for the advancement of the Black, the Native American, and Hispanic? Is that evil somehow? Do they not need an advocate? And then what happens is when we read the Bible verbatim, we get accused of teaching hate when all we did was read the Bible, the same one you're holding. So has anyone ever examined the mind state or the why do people feel the need to demonize the Israelites? For what? What have we done to deserve to be demonized? Is the question. I haven't seen any good answers to that. I haven't heard any good answers to that. I've seen people try to justify speaking against us maliciously and wickedly because they say that we are malicious and wicked, right? These are Christians. How is it malicious and wicked to care about my people so much that I will not allow them to be exploited, abandoned, utterly disrespected? And I made it my responsibility not to leave them in a base state where culturally they have adopted behaviors that will destroy them. How is that hate?
All right, so we're going to take a quick pause real quick. The Adawan has brought out a lot of information thus far. And let's talk about the base state of the so-called Black people in America. The so-called Black people, period. Have we not considered the bottom of everything?
Come.
Are we not the bottom of every negative aspect? Are we not the top of that and the bottom of every positive aspect? Lowest test scores, highest STD rates, lowest job holding, highest rate of fire.
Convicted criminals.
Yeah, all of these things. So everything that the Adawan is mentioning here, everything that he's mentioning is 100% authentic. He's not making this stuff up. He's not just coming off, shooting off the cuff here. That's what I wanted to reiterate. That the Adawan here is keeping it 100% real with us. So let's continue here. Oh, you got anything to add on that, Doc?
No lie.
Con. Let's continue.
So it leads me back to my deduction. The reason that you have accepted the narrative that we are evil is because our enemy has gotten to you first. I'm gonna speak frankly with you in this hotel. You know, the walls are thin. I'm trying to keep my voice mid-range. I'm exposed in this area. And I was talking about that on the call. Most people's civil rights leaders are protected with a security detail, but your Hebrew Israelites, we just outside. We just out here. You know, Esau knows that we know the truth, and he knows that we're the last line of defense. And if he wanted to touch us, we just out here because our people they don't revere us yet. They don't feel like we are treasured yet. And that's why the Most High said in Amos 8:11 that the day is going to come where, you know, you're not going to be able to hear this word. You won't be able to find it. There has to be a reason that people demonize us. Specifically, they demonize us as individuals instead of discussing the nature of our doctrine in a fair and unbiased format. I told somebody the other day that Black Hebrew Israelite is a slur, and he said, no, it's not, and I'm going to keep saying it. That doesn't work for anyone else. If a nation of people said, hey, that's a racist slur, and I don't want to be addressed that way, it would be politically incorrect for you to ignore that. But with us, it's okay. You could just continue to call us whatever you want. It has to be like that for a reason. And it's probably because they know that if we're allowed to speak freely and candidly, that people will turn their ear to us. They will hear us. They will accept our position and believe what we say. Now, this is important. I'm going to write this in the chat as I say this. The white man has criticisms of the Black nation. Now, I'm going to put this on the screen. He says you disproportionately commit crime more than any other nation. You lead in sexually transmitted diseases. You lead in prison population. You are the lowest as far as nationality-wise when it comes to test scoring. These are his criticisms of you. When you're debating him in a civil platform, arguing for human rights, he brings that up. Well, what is the reason to say these things? It is to say that you're not deserving. You are self-destructive. And because you are self-destructive and not deserving, your plea is disregarded. Are you walking with me? Are y'all hearing me right now? Are y'all understanding me? I'm looking in the chat. Are y'all tracking what I'm saying so far? Do I need to say that simpler? All right, I'm looking in the chat. I see ears. I see cons. Bring it out, con, starting to flow in. Okay, Dirac, are you trying to get on stage? Or you still got tech difficulty? Okay, brother, still got tech difficulty. All right, Hopefully he's still playing the audio so that they can hear me on the call. But the call already heard this. Back at 8:30 when I jumped on the call, I was explaining this to the call. I'm just repeating this for the live class. He has criticisms of our nation. You lead in crime. You lead in sexual promiscuity. You lead in prison population, and you're the least when it comes to education. Because of these things, you are less deserving, is his argument. And when you watch any of these YouTube channels, these troll accounts that get all these views, when we talk about civil rights, they bring these things up to discredit you on a nationalistic level. Okay. Here comes the Hebrew Israelite. He wants you to stop committing crime. He wants you to become a scholar at a young age, a historical prodigy, a research analyst, basically. He wants your women to become pure, and he wants it to be your religion to be holy, and to make it against your religion to be violent towards your own people. Remember, one of their criticisms of you is blacks kill blacks. Well, here comes the Hebrew Israelite. Stop destroying your own community. Stop destroying yourself. Stop blacks kill blacks. Stop being violent. Here comes the Hebrew Israelite. Stop being violent towards your own. Okay? Stop doing that. And your women, stop being sexually promiscuous, aborting your children, and having illicit sex. Stop doing that. Become holy again. Shouldn't the white man say that Hebrew Israelites are the solution to everything that I criticize you guys about? And y'all need to start listening to the Israelites, because these are the reasons that you are less deserving. And the Israelites want you to stop being that way. Yet the same guy, right? The same guy, instead of backing you and supporting you as a nation, he tells you not to listen to the Israelites because they're racist. Did you ever think about what I'm saying to you? Like, I'm in a hotel, bro. I want to chill. I want to go frolic, but I saw my community today. I saw the neighborhood I grew up in. I saw the house that I grew up in. And I said, damn, my people have gone backwards. But then it's like, this is everywhere. This is everywhere. So that's right, Lewis. Lewis says he's playing reverse psychology. So I'm going to criticize you, right? I see people understanding. I'm going to criticize you for all of these ills and negatives your community represents and perpetuates. And here come the Israelites, and they want to stop you from doing these behaviors and make it your religion not to do these things. And the same people that criticize you for doing these things criticize the people who are telling you to stop doing these things.
Kind, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Well, I feel the elder right on. If you got a problem with these things among this segment of the people, and here come people trying to teach these same people to do these things properly and in order as it is written in the text, why in the world would you have a problem with that? Unless what you're saying, your criticism is not really criticism, it's more along the lines of just insulting. And that's what the elder's getting to, is that it's not about criticizing you so that you can get better. It's more about insulting you. Like, yo, you worthless anyway, N-word. So that's really what he's getting to. But yeah. Let's continue here. I don't want to prolong the time too much, but this is good stuff. So pay attention. Continue to pay attention here.
The more you study and the longer you stay in this truth, you're going to realize that all of this is backwards. And that Edom is the biggest scoffer. And he was there in the past, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. He's the biggest scoffer and troll, man. Okay? He hates you and your nation. And the fact that I'm telling this to you, I become the bad guy. But you can look and see that he hates you and despises your nation, and it doesn't have a meaning. But when I say it, it becomes a problem. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're going through. And it looked like Esau messing with the stream. Kazak says he can't hear. Salome says we froze.
Yeah, froze for a little bit. Now you good though.
Can they hear me on the call?
Yeah, kind of one.
This is the craziest psyop. You go on the Clubhouse application, and there are 47 rooms saying the Hebrew Israelites are wicked, what the Hebrew Israelites are wrong about, why you should not listen to the Hebrew Israelites. There are 40 rooms like that. And what they're trying to do is discredit us before you hear us speak, which is against the Bible. Can y'all read that? Sirach 27 and 7.
Kind of one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 7. Praise no man before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of men.
That's the trial of men, is to wait until you hear what they're saying before you praise them or pass judgment. That is the trial of a man. So you have people dedicated to discredit. They discredit us before you hear us say anything, to teach you to have a position against us before we begin, so that you are now biased and you can't listen to the message we're bringing you. And the message we're bringing you is to stop doing all the things that the same enemy is criticizing you over. If the problem with Black people is they kill each other, the Hebrew Israelites teach that y'all are brothers, and it is against your religion to be violent to each other.
Right.
And y'all must resolve y'all issues through discussion and counsel, and practice humility towards each other and long suffering. Your criticism was we violent to each other. The Hebrew Israelites teach Blacks to stop being violent to each other, but you're against the Hebrew Israelites. Your criticism is that the Black woman is overly sexualized, highly promiscuous, and leads in sexually transmitted diseases. And the Israelites teach that sex is marriage. You must wisely and shrewdly consider the act of having sex, and it becomes holy when you do that. And y'all must approach that carefully, which is the opposite of sexual promiscuity. But you're mad at the Israelites and say that they teach hate, but they teach against the thing that you criticize Black people for doing. So is your goal to reform Black people when you make those talking points? Well, y'all kill each other. Did you say that so we would stop? Or did you say or did you say that to attack and destroy us as an ad hominem?
That's a great point.
Do you understand me, Direct?
That's a great point.
So the people that criticize Black people, their best friend should be the Hebrew Israelite.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the Hebrew Israelite advocates and teaches Black people to stop doing all of those things. Eureka.
Eureka, we found the problem.
But you're against us too.
Right.
So now you say, well, Black people lead in abortion, they lead in welfare, they have the lowest test scores. And here I come and I say, yo, man, pay attention in school, get all the knowledge you can, because it is on your back to lead your nation out of the dust so that y'all can return to the level that you built. That's teaching hate. Huh? You go on Clubhouse and you got a Black preacher saying that I don't like the Hebrew Israelites. I hate y'all doctrine and y'all are heretics and it is my mission to destroy y'all. We teach our people to be better.
Wow. Yep.
We teach our people to make it their religion to be holy. And that's all we say. You make it about hate so that people won't listen to us, because you have to discredit us before they hear us speak. Because if anybody heard us talk, they would agree. If I walked up to a brother and said, hey, our people are holy, we got to stop, the Black on Black crime has to stop. It's actually against God's laws for us to deal with each other the way that we do. Actually, we have to do this. Give me Romans 12:10. Watch. This is what I would say to a brother if I saw him walking down the street. Give me Romans 12:10. Read that.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10. It reads, be kindly, affectionate one to another, with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another.
It is actually our religion to be kind and affectionate towards one another, and we have to prefer each other. We have to give each other the benefit of the doubt and preferential treatment.
Right.
Preferential treatment, preferring one another. Can you imagine if the Black community, so-called Black community, adopted this ideology and dealt with each other with this level of love and compassion? How different would the so-called Black community be if this was the standard? Instead of I wish a nigga would, it was preferring one another. But this is what happened when you're under the curses. And I know people don't like to hear about the curses because they say, oh, I'm not cursed. Yeah, you cursed. We all curse because we curse as a nation. That's what we're doing here. If we weren't cursed, we wouldn't be in this land. We would be in our own land with our brothers and our sisters that are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. That's how you know we curse. All right, let's continue.
Do you think a Black person would hear me say that and go, hey, that's racist? No, he would hear that and go, wow, man, that would make our neighborhood really nice.
Right. Way better.
That's what we teach. But then you have the Black pastor on Clubhouse saying, no, y'all are racist. Y'all teach hate. You guys are Power Rangers and a joke. When does that message make it to our people then, if we're the joke? When do you teach it?
Right. Wow.
I had a Black pastor this week tell me that, and he said it in no uncertain terms. He said that the only people that can advocate as far as religion that the Black man's needs are the priority, the only religion that can do that is Hebrew Israelites. I had a Black pastor tell me that.
Wow.
And I said, well, why did you say that? He goes, because I'm a Christian. I advocate for everybody's needs. Ooh. I said, wait, the white man don't need an advocate for his needs. He has that.
Right.
He said, well, I gave you your answer. What else you want from me?
He said he advocated for the needs of people who don't need it because they already in charge of everything. So he advocating for those people. Never mind the people who are at the bottom, who pine at the bottom, But the people who don't need it, those are the people who he's concerned about. You cannot advocate for the so-called black man in America. You have to advocate for every man in America, because to advocate for the black man in America would be racist. But to advocate for every man in America would be okay. That's foolishness. That's foolishness, and that's a trick that we've been put in to make us think that there's something wrong with us wanting for us to be better. So we got to learn from that. We got to stop thinking like that. Let's continue.
Come.
You got anything on that, Arthur?
Well, just, a moment ago, he was talking about how, the opposition and other nations talk about how deplorable things are in our community, but it's not like they say these things so that we improve, because when there are brothers out there each and every week trying to improve, those brothers are demonized. Right. So it's not, they don't want that. They don't want us coming together. They don't want us loving one another. They don't want you or I sticking up for our women and being the heads of our household, But these things are gonna happen, eventually, So and it will be their nightmare when it comes to pass,
Right? Because what else are they gonna have to talk about if they don't talk about us? Well, they don't have us to talk about. What they gonna have to talk? They got to talk about themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So let's continue. Let's continue.
So he actually admitted that we are the only religion that advocates specifically for the needs of the blacks, natives, and Hispanics. We're the only religion.
Yep.
So Salakia, 1 second here. I do want to touch on it because he keeps mentioning this religion. So understand that being an Israelite is not a religion. However, when it comes to the functionality of an Israelite, in the sense of the people that we are around, it would equate to what they perceive as religion. It's not a religion for us. It's a way of life for us. It's not a religion. Religion, as I understand religion is something you do religiously. So that's not the same thing as what we do. We live the way that the Most High set forth us to live, to do the things that He has given us to do. When we keep the temple of the Most High, when the Levites keep the temple and do the ways of that He has described, that He has given us to do, that's not a religion. That's their job. That's their everyday activity. But the religions would see that, or other people would see that as a religion, and that's why He's describing it like that. So I just wanted to put that little caveat in there. But let's continue.
Pastor on Clubhouse as well, and we were talking about the gospel. One of the biggest things, we don't teach the gospel that saves, right? And I brought up Isaiah 61, right? And if the brothers and sisters that know it, you know how it is preaching good tidings, the good news to the meek, to bind up the brokenhearted, right? Give liberty to the captives and things in that nature, right? That's how that goes. But then I had a pastor tell me that that's not the good news. But the reason why that's not the good news to him is because of what you said, Adawan. He's advocating for every nation. So every nation doesn't make up almost 62% of the prison population. So every nation don't need that right there.
That what Christ was quoting in Isaiah.
Every nation don't need that treatment and that good news from Isaiah. You trying to tell me that's not the good news? Well, it's not the good news for people that's relaxing in America. Right. It's for the brokenhearted. And who are those people that's brokenhearted? Who is this gospel talking to? That's who it's for. And the only one preaching it to those people is the Israelites.
Right. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. That's why it's wicked to be wicked. We have a saying in SOT. It's wicked to be wicked. We understand what that means.
Yep, right.
Like when you join our camp, you're going to get hit with that. It's going to happen. So one of the captains is going to say it. See, that's why it's wicked to be wicked. And all of our brothers do the same thing. They go, when we say that, they go, yes, it's wicked to be wicked.
Right.
Because when you're wicked, you cause another brother hurt.
Right.
And it becomes his job to forgive you, or else he is in a salvation bind, because we have to forgive one another. But I didn't do anything to you. You did something to me evil, and I'm angry. But now I have to go out of my way to not be angry and find a way to forgive you, or else I'm going to be judged. But you, the person that did something wrong.
Exactly.
That's why it's wicked to be wicked. And we got to talk about something today. This showed up in my Instagram feed.
Before he goes into the further topic here, let's discuss that, because that's an interesting point of view, perspective. It's wicked to be wicked, because basically when you do evil to your brother, you put your brother in a conundrum by making them to have to deal with you in a righteous manner, but yet they have every reason to be angry with you and deal with you in a furious manner. But to stay in good standing with the power of Israel, you got to deal with your brother in a righteous manner. So now you put your brother in a trick bag. So on top of you doing something wicked to him, now he's forced to deal with you righteously, even though you wronged him, possibly to his face. And that's why he said it's wicked to be wicked. Like, this is so profound. I don't think if brothers understand this. This is not, you stepped on my Jordans. This is not that. Oh, my bad. I'll buy you some new strings. I'll bring you some new strings. And next week, I'll bring you some new strings. My bad. I apologize. The rest of that, you can buff the rest of that out. I'll bring you some new strings, and we all set. I'll pick up some Michael Jordan strings for you. This is not that. This is you purposely and maliciously went against me and put me in a place where I have to deal with you in a manner that I don't want to have to deal with you with. And if I don't forgive you for what you've done to me, the Abba's going to deal with me. And that's why it's wicked to be wicked, because you're hurting me twice by this evil that you're doing to me. And that is so next level, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because this is the video that we're reviewing. I'm saying that because this is the reality. I mean, I can see me in this. I'm the person. It's not about the shoes. It's not about something simple. It's something complex. And somebody has knowingly went against the scriptures to put me in this position. And now I'm stuck. And I have to deal with it because I don't want to face judgment. Think about that. Let that set in for a little bit. We're going to continue. You got anything on that, Eye?
No lie.
Come on, let's continue.
I haven't seen this image in like a year and a half. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. Okay. And if you emotional, don't look. Just quit the class and go find something else to do. If you're on the Clubhouse, I'm going to vividly describe what you are looking at. Okay. It's not gore, it's just oblivion. Do y'all see this image?
Wow. Dude in the trash.
It is an image. It's the image of a young black boy. He's like 4. What do y'all think?
You said 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks real young.
Yeah, he's definitely young.
5.
Definitely a toddler.
What we're looking at is the image of a young black boy thrown into a public garbage in his nice, fresh outside clothes, and he is crying. He's about 5 years old. This image happened on live when some Negroes saw their op walking with his son. They ran down on him, bullied him into a corner, sunned him on camera, meaning they smacked him up, and then they picked up his 5-year-old or 4-year-old by his feet and threw him into an outdoor garbage receptacle. And this is the image. And they're live. This picture is from the live.
Yo, that's wicked as hell.
Man.
I showed this image to my rib and I said, hey, I keep it real with her. I'm able to talk to her and we keep it 1,000.
Okay. Let's talk about this for just a moment. Let's let this marinate in our ruachs for just a moment here. Now, what he said, what he described that happened was brothers at odds. Two, and I don't want to say brothers, I don't want you to take that the wrong way, as if these are Israelite brothers. These are not Israelite brothers. These are two so-called Negroes, so-called black men, having conflict in the street. One of the brothers is with his son, trying to get him to where he's going, and the other fella pulls up in a vehicle and sees the situation and decides to escalate to violence. And as a part of that violence, not only does he accost or assault the man, he takes his child and puts him in a trash can. Completely and utterly reprehensible behavior by someone of your own nation. This is the description that we're looking at. This is what we're dealing with here. That is what we're seeing on this picture. He took a man's son and put him in the trash can. Now, in any situation, any circumstance, and he was recording it while he did it. He was recording it. That's where this image came from. This is the image from the incident. So he was recording this situation as it happened. And any person, and any human being, this will promote immediate outrage and wrath. Immediate. Now, when I first saw this, it moved me to tears. And it's about all I can do to not cry right now. I mean, I just think about this being my son. This being my son in this situation. Regardless of what got them to this point. This is a man's child in a trash can in New York. One of the filthy places on earth. Go ahead,
you know, we've covered a lot of the deplorable acts that the enemy and the oppressor has put upon our people. You know, using our toddlers as gator bait. You know, this action is something that you would expect from the oppressor, not from someone who has a similar story as yourself. Yeah, this is definitely hard to hear about, you know, and it's upsetting. And I'm trying to think of, there's nothing that anybody could do to me to want to make me take it out on their child. For one, that's cowardly.
Yeah.
For two, it's wicked as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Bruce said that when he saw the image, he said, this is wicked as hell. Like this, that's the only way to describe it. It's completely wicked. There's no justification that you can say, well, yeah, I put his son in the trash can because he owed me $2,500. I don't care if it's $25,000.
Yeah, our people are so caught up, and I really don't know why we're surprised by this. It's been a growing trend since you and I were young of our people living like they're not going to be held accountable ever for their actions, like there is no power that's going to judge them.
Right.
This cat putting this child in a trash can is living like he's not going to be judged.
Right. You're exactly right, Doc. You're exactly right. And one thing that we have to be cognizant of constantly is that every deed, every thought, every deed, and every word we are going to have to give an account for. You cannot get away from the power of Israel. Whether you are an Israelite or another people, you will not get away. Period. The Most High made the Shamayim, made the heavens and the earth. He did it by the hands of the Messiah. But he will judge the earth. According to Yehukanan, the book of Revelation, the book of Hazon, I saw the small and the great, and they were waiting to be judged. When that judgment comes, you're going to have to give an account for all of this. Taking a man's son and putting him in the trash as if he's nothing. Right. I'm thankful this looks like the morning, because it looks like it's very little stuff in that can right there. But that doesn't make it acceptable. Because I guarantee you the fellow who put him in there didn't say, yeah, it's a good time to do it. No, he said, I don't care about this kid or this man. And I'm going to assault the man and I'm going to throw his son in the trash because you ain't going to do nothing about it. Yeah, it's crazy, but let's continue.
We could communicate well. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I said, I'm a Hebrew Israelite and you know the laws that I follow, but you're going to divorce me and leave me if I don't get the dude who did this to our son and kill him.
Wow, that's heavy. That's real.
And she looked at me and she didn't want to admit it. She just was like,
Yeah, for real.
Like,
So right there, he was talking to his wife. He showed her this picture, and he said, if this happened to us, you would leave me and divorce me if I didn't handle the fella, if I didn't unalive the fella that did this to our son. He has a son. Matter of fact, what happened on Clubhouse really prompted this whole situation, because people on Clubhouse were actually making mockery and talking about his son. He only has one son. And I just imagine, it's one thing on Clubhouse. It's another thing when you standing in my face and you assaulting me and my son is left. We've all seen movies where situations happen and it involves somebody's son and you think, oh man, that's horrible. But this is reality. This is a real person and a real child in a real trash can. Because somebody thought, I can do this to your son and you're not going to do nothing about it. And he's talking to his wife about it. And his wife he's telling her, look, this is the situation. If this happened to us, you would quit, you would leave me, you would leave the relationship, you would leave me, divorce me if I didn't unalive this cat. If I didn't take him down, you would get rid of me and be done with me. I wonder if she would, even if he did. I don't know. It's a possibility. Anything is possible. So all this is to provoke thought, because we are to look into ourselves and to see how it is that we are and how we should be. What is the standard that we should live to? And where are we right now? That's the conversation that this is meant to have. So think about that as we continue.
I said, you're my wife. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You come to the feast days with me. You know the laws and the way that we live. If I don't get the dude who did this and put him in a box, you're gonna divorce me and leave me.
Wow, that's true.
And she started laughing. Israel, I on Friday class, I come with facts, man. Look at The Rock.
Hey, yo, I'm just in it, like looking at the situation. Like, if I don't do something, my rib will be like, so you're not gonna do nothing for your son,
Right?
Now remember, our laws say to be long-suffering and to forgive your neighbor the hurt that he has caused thee, and you will be the sons of the living God.
Man.
But I looked at her and I said, but if I don't get these niggas back for doing this to our son, you're gonna leave me. And our relationship is over. Matter of fact, until I get retribution for this, you're not gonna lay down with me and we're not gonna talk. I know that. And she laughed. Because what you are looking at is hers, not hers, not mine, but a son of our nation thrown into the garbage and humiliated on Facebook Live.
You know what? It's ironic. I recall a woman with her child having must have been an argument with a person who identifies as a trans person. And whatever the conversation was, I can't remember what the details of the conversation was. Whatever the conversation was, the trans person kicked her son down and basically challenged her to a fight. She let her child go down to the ground from a kick. I mean, this person kicked her child to the ground and got into a fight stance, while this woman who knew that this was a man that she was dealing with knew good and well that she wasn't going to win this confrontation. But this is the thing. It takes a certain level of wickedness. This is not even bottom level wickedness. This is upper level. This is top shelf wickedness right here. You got to get a step stool to get up on there to get this level of wickedness. You can't even get this wickedness just from walking in and you see it. You can see it, but you can't get to it because this is not natural. This is beyond natural affection. I think I mentioned earlier, this is like a beast. This is what the animals do in the animal kingdom. When they get the herd to run one direction and the calf get confused and they isolate the calf and they take the calf and eat it, that's what this is.
Come on.
This is not normal behavior. This is animalistic, beastly behavior. So think about those things as we continue, because again, all this is to hold a mirror to ourselves and to ask ourselves, what should we be doing? How are we? And where should we? Yeah.
You know, we've got to come to the point where I can look at this. Suppose this young brother's father and I had issue.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look at this, being that we are Israel and we are in this captivity together. Yeah. I need to look at this young child like he's mine. Yeah. Like he's my little brother.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be in a trash can. I don't want I don't want nobody who's from Yashara to be mistreated.
Okay. 100%. 100%. And that's the thing. I should be able to disagree with you and it not result in this.
Come.
We should be able to disagree and speak man to man with counsel and people who know more than both of us, and it not come to this.
I ought to look at this situation and be like, man, this is sad. Your father ran off and left you here. Let me give you some help because your father's not man enough to do it.
Yeah. Hey, man, don't leave your son, man. Don't leave your son.
Right.
Hey, come get your son. My bad. You know what? I'm wrong.
Right.
I shouldn't even got to this point. I apologize. Look, whatever the situation was, we'll deal with it at some other time. We'll sit down with counsel and we'll talk it through. But come get your son. Here he is. He's fine. Here's your son. That's what it should be. But instead, this person didn't do that. Took his son and put him in a trash receptacle and filmed it. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I'm fighting tears right now. That's how heartbreaking it is, because I know what it should be, but instead it ended up being this. But let's continue. It's all night. Let's continue.
Brothers and sisters, it is wicked to be wicked.
What they talking about that?
That's crazy.
Man. It's crazy.
Look at the baby. Look at him. You, according to your religion, I'm talking to the Israelites anyway. According to your religion, the most honorable thing you could do in this situation is turn the other cheek. I told I said, if I went to the police, because they did this on Facebook Live, and said, look what they did to my son, and the police got the dude, arrested him, and put him in jail, you would still leave me. Because he was with me when this happened. They ran down on me, beat me up, and then grabbed our son and put him in an outdoor garbage receptacle in the middle of broad daylight and filmed it. So even if I did it the legal way, it would not be good enough, because ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
Right. I can't even perceive the thought of that happening to my child, man.
Look at the brother. Look at the chat. These are brothers that know the scriptures. Look, this is a difficult one. This is tough.
Yeah, it is tough. How do you deal with that? How would you deal with that situation? I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. It's like something out of a movie, you know? And how do you deal in a situation like that? Your child upside down in a trash can. And they said 3 or 4 or 5. I'm thinking more like 3. He looked more like a 3-year-old. He looked like a tall 3-year-old.
Yeah, Con. I mean, that's a child. And when I mean child, like that child's not 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a small toddler, man.
Yeah. Defenseless, helpless.
Right.
Helpless. And apparently his father was, because who knows what he was facing? I don't know. If it was 1-1, you got to man up. I mean, if it was 2-1, you still got to man up. If it was
I don't think under any circumstances I'd be able to leave my son with somebody that I felt threatened about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what happened in that situation, I think he was doubled over. I think they got him pretty good and then moved to his son. And, you know, I think that was what it was. I don't think it was that he left him like he just left him where he was.
Okay, got you.
Because he mentioned that, because I think on the original post, they accosted him. So he was probably doubled over. He was probably, you know, beat up pretty good.
Beat up. Yeah.
And then they got his, you know, so. But I even that, I just can't imagine. I just cannot imagine. Now, what would warrant, you know, he's talking to his wife about it. What would warrant a reasonable response in my mind? Think about that. I'm asking that. I'm not asking y'all. I'm asking myself. What would warrant a reasonable response to this in my mind? If a man of my own nation in this captivity did this to my child, what would warrant a reasonable response? Y'all were all saying that he said to his wife, if this happened to our son, you will leave me and divorce me if I didn't unalive the guy that did it.
Come.
Yeah. And her response was, I'm gonna laugh it off because I don't want us to have to deal with that. You know what I teach, you know what I believe, you know what I'm about, but yet you would not deal with me. You wouldn't even be my wife. You wouldn't even act in the capacity of my wife if I didn't handle this situation with the most possible violence available. You know, what am I going to do in this situation? So this is a food for thought. This is a deep situation, but let's continue.
That's my baby.
Now,
That's my baby.
Now, if I strap up, put a hoodie on, wait 3 days, catch that dude, and on Friday class, we keep it real with y'all. We talk on Friday class.
You know,
I said, what if I ran down on him? I didn't shoot him, but I beat him with my pistol and split his head open, and I put him in the garbage. Would we be even? And she thought about it. And kind of wanted to get off the conversation because, and all she's doing in that moment is telling me, nah, you gotta kill this dude. And I don't want to think about that. So let's stop talking about this. Because look at this disrespect. Look, Israel, this is how we treat each other. The Hebrew Israelites are bad guys, but we would never. They hate us, but we would never.
right?
We put out a video last week of 2 sisters jumping another sister while we teaching the scriptures.
Now, let's touch on that real quick. What would warrant me to take another brother's child and put him upside down in the trash can? You know, what could possibly make me go there? What I don't think anything in the earth could make me do that. That I'm gonna take another man who looks like me, whose mother and father look like my mother and father,
right?
And his seed, his child, his son or daughter, and put them in a trash can for public use. What am I saying about myself, my people, my tribe, my nation? What am I saying about that if I do that behavior? What am I saying? Is that I think less of me than I think of anybody else on the earth. That's the only statement that action would convey. I think less of myself than anybody else on the earth, so much that I'm going to take one of our own children and I'm going to put them in the trash can. That's how much I think about myself. It might as well be me in the trash can. Because that's how much I care about my nation, my people, my tribe, That's how much I care. That's how much it's worth to me. It has no value to me. If you think like that and you're watching this video, you need to examine yourself. You need to examine yourself. I don't care if it was $25, if it was 25 cents, if it was 2,500, 25,000. I don't give a damn if it was $25 million. Whatever it is, if you're willing to take one of your own children, a child of your nation is your own child, and put them upside down in a trash heap, you need to really examine yourself, because you work for Satan. You are working for the adversary. And there's no getting around that. There's no sugarcoating it. There's no making light of it. You worship Satan. That is the only way you can operate in this manner. Either that or you are an animal. Those are the only two reasonable explanations for behavior like this.
Okay.
The only two. Let's continue.
And all the comments are saying, why didn't y'all stop it?
Yep. Yep.
We outside teaching our people to love one another with Bibles open, and that starts to happen. And all they can say is, why didn't you go and stop that? So guess what they would have been saying with this? The dudes that jumped out of the truck with guns, that ran down on the guy and picked his kid up and did this to him, why didn't y'all stop that? That's what they would say.
Yep.
The only way to stop that is if we pull out and put everybody to death.
That's the only way.
That's it.
They don't understand.
Do you see why it is wicked to be wicked? Do you see the self-destructive nature and behavior of our nation and how they carry on and how problematic it is? And we're the only people whose religion is designed to stop that.
Man, I can't stop stopping. I'm sorry. It is so wicked to be wicked. That is such a valiant point. That is such a magnificent observation. It is wicked to be wicked. To do this to a person, you're putting them in a position to where they have to choose between dealing right with you or facing judgment from the power of their fathers. And that is not a position that you have a right to put anybody in. And, you know, I can't say that I would do one way or another, honestly, because I'm right now learning this lesson, looking at this, listening to the elders speak. I have to say that I'm fully aware, I'm fully conscious of what's going on. So for me to just react at this point would be foolish. Would be foolish. If this lesson wasn't brought forth, my reaction would be violence. Shoot them up, get them, chase them, get them, take them down, throw them in the river. If I had not had this lesson, but I have this lesson now. So now I have to examine Hazaki Yahu. What would it be right for Hazaki Yahu to do in this situation? I have 3 boys, 3 sons, 4 children. If one of them ended up in this situation, what would be the right thing for me to do? I have to examine that. I'm not asking anybody else that. I'm asking that of myself. And I want you to ask yourself that and give yourself an honest, clear, and concise answer after listening to this class. What would be the best answer for you? Let's continue.
I'm going to leave this on the screen. Y'all have to think. Look at your mate and look them in the face, Eve, you sisters, and level that it is true. If this happened to my son while he was with you, and they put that on the internet, and that's my baby right there, I'm going to leave you if you don't do something about it. Y'all know y'all feel like that.
Of course.
I feel like I got to do something about it. Shoot, man.
But wait, our religion would have us not do something about it.
Right.
The name of the class is It's Wicked to Be Wicked. Look at what when you did this for laughs, because this is a young boy, he has a whole life and a future.
Right.
He's going to get made fun of this for the rest of his life. The people that know that this is him. Think about the ripple effect of you doing this.
No.
And it becomes my job to forgive you. Wait, hold on. I got to lose my wife too. She's going to leave me.
And then that makes her wicked.
Because she birthed him and she can't accept this.
Yeah.
Right.
And me as the protector is a failure on my part. And she can't accept that. So she got to leave me. He's too weak. But I didn't do anything. You did this to me. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
When I saw this on my timeline, I said, I'm going to put the whole class in a bind. Y'all have to use your fingers now. In the chat, can you forgive this? I don't want to hear the long talking. Yay, nay.
Kala'a.
Kanala'a. That's it.
I don't want to hear the long talking. Can you see? Be real. Don't lie. Look at your answers. Look at him, man.
So, Khan, I mean, that's reality. Can you forgive this? Can you walk away from this and say, son, it's okay. You're alive. You got function of your limbs. Your neck is intact. You know, you okay. Can you seriously say that to this child? Can you say that to his mother and say, he's okay. Everything's okay. Yeah, they did this, but it's okay. We all right. Can you really say that? Can you sincerely do that? That's why it's so wicked to be wicked, because your wicked behavior puts a man in a position that he can only respond as a man is meant to respond. But somehow he's got to repress his manhood and respond in a way that the Most High would have us to deal one with another. And that's why it's so wicked to be wicked. Man, this is so deep. This is so deep. When I told y'all this was a real deal, learn to do good lesson. Make you look in the mirror at yourself and examine you. That's exactly what the Adawan is doing here. And it is as hard as it is to swallow and take down, it is equally as magnificent. You got anything on that?
A lot.
All right, let's continue.
He's just a little kid, man. He had on his cool clothes. He got on his nice clothes. He's feeling happy. That garbage is disgusting. You don't know what's in there. And look at him.
We're seeing a lot of
lives.
Hey, look. I wouldn't expect this.
And let me say this too. One thing else. The brothers kind of smile and kind of snicker. This is what you do when you're in a place where you're just so uncomfortable. It just makes you just kind of like want to laugh it off. But this is an expression of the discomfort that this brings about. Seeing this child, knowing that these brothers have children, seeing this child in this trash can is so disturbing. The only reasonable thing that a person can do is kind of, yeah, it's crazy. Man, that's crazy. That's messed up. Like, if that was me, I don't know what I would do, honestly. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I wouldn't be laughing. I wouldn't laugh. And I know they're not laughing because it's funny. They're laughing because this is so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable to look at this picture and see this child with his mouth open crying. Like, that is uncomfortable. That is a horrible place because I can put my son there. And, man, it's crazy, but let's continue. Let's continue. I'm not trying to keep this all night, but let's continue.
Well, let me see. I'll hold my feet up.
It's different, man. I don't know.
Man.
Hey, Adawan, for real, this probably make him a crash out kid. Like, he got something to prove for his whole life. So he grew up like,
Of course.
everybody talking about him like this. So he want to prove himself.
Slack, yeah.
I don't know if the people in the clubhouse can see this, man. If y'all are watching this,
Slack, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I was thinking something similar for not only this child but also his father. You know, this is how villains are made. You know, with acts like this. You know, a brother is always gonna remember this, that somebody, that the world is so cold will do me like this. I've got to hurt somebody before I allow them to do something like this. You know,
100%, 100%, and that's authentic. Like, I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me, because you'll hurt me, and I know it because it's happened to me already. When I was 3, I can remember. I think about 2.5, 2 3/4, or 2 2/2 is when the long-term memories start kicking in, and that's that child right there is gonna remember this probably the rest of their life. Probably. So, well, let's continue.
They going crazy in the chat about this. You did it. You did exactly what you.
That's a real.
I said I'm gonna put y'all in a bind. I'm gonna have you. The same question I asked myself, I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna put y'all in a bind.
Adawan, to be 100% honest with you, I don't know if I could. But with that being said, right, for all the people, including myself, saying now you know what you have to work on, right?
The name of the class is what?
It's wicked to be wicked.
Wicked to be wicked.
This action here, the most righteous of men, what do you want him to do?
Keep the commandments.
Listen, I'm a regular dude. I'm not Superman. You're not doing this to my son.
It's true. That's real.
That's real.
I'm gonna crash out over this.
I mean, 100% accurate. I mean, what else can you do? You know, what can you do? Truthfully, you know, what reasonable explanation can you give? How can you close your eyes at night and go to sleep? How can you get up in the morning and brush your teeth? You know, how can you live your life knowing that you let a man put your child in the trash can while he's hollering and screaming? I mean, it's unreal. That's unreal behavior. And the least of anybody that you should expect this from should be somebody from your own people. That is the most appalling part of it. If it was another nation, I would understand. I'm not saying I would excuse it, but I would understand. But for your own people, we know how our people are behaved. We know how our people can be. And it's appalling. It's appalling. This is a animalistic situation. Let's continue.
All of
the crazy part about that, Adam, when you said that, it was an instinct. I said, you got to. I almost said you got to.
You say it.
I can't say it.
You have no choice. You have to get his honor.
Wow. Yeah.
He's been dishonored. The young children of our nation are holy. He has been dishonored. Look at him. It's not funny.
It's not.
But the dudes that did it, to them it was.
Right. Exactly.
They put it on live. They put it on the internet.
That was live. That's a screenshot of the live. They was holding the camera over like, yeah, look. You think we playing? Matter of fact, grab little man, and then they threw him in the garbage.
Did you want to show the video?
Did you find it?
I can find it.
If you can find it, let's show it.
Okay, I'll let y'all know.
Adawan, check this out though, right? Because like you said, right, those were his so-called ops hopping out on him and running down on him, right? So like the class's title is Wicked to be Wicked, right? So what if that boy's father was in some wickedness, right? Beefing with his brothers, and now the Lord had to show him, look, because of your wickedness, now your son is suffering because of your wickedness. Right?
Micaiah didn't answer. Micaiah, Micaiah, I see you in the chat. Can you forgive that?
Micaiah.
And let that slide and just move on. Can you do that?
Yeah.
He said no. That behavior right there of taking somebody's child out of spite and throwing them into a public city garbage can is you saying to that person, you are worthless to me and you ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
That's gonna cause a ripple effect through his life. We already discussed this. His woman is going to leave him. Their relationship is over. That woman's family is going to see that man as weak and they're going to step in, and now they're trying to get revenge.
Yep.
That's the meaning of it's wicked to be wicked. It has a side effect. Can you play that clip? You found it?
No, I haven't found it.
That's an old Facebook clip, and I wanted to approach the class with it to make y'all think. If you was placed in that situation, how would you conduct yourself? And the reality of the situation is a lot of us would crash out.
Right.
That's why it's wicked to be wicked. It's a sin to hate your brother. Wait, listen. It is a sin to hate your brother in your heart. Yahushua said that's murder. If that, I'm gonna put it back on the stage. I'm gonna put that picture right back up. The dudes that did this to your son, you don't hate them? And what makes it even worse is if it was unprovoked and these dudes just did that to you.
Right.
And that's what I mean when I say it is wicked to be wicked. It has a side effect. You are responsible for what they do next. That's why we have to treat each other as holy. That's why we need some civil laws amongst ourselves right, which would make doing this behavior impossible. Look at the comments, man. These are all Hebrew Israelites that want to please God, but look at what they say because of the nature of the disrespect. This is unbelievable.
And it's not even the nature of the disrespect. I'm not to disagree with the Adawan. I understand, he's in his flow and he's coming out with ideology, but this is the protection that's wired into every man. A man with a child, there's a level of protection that goes into you. When you see that child's face, when you see those little eyes looking at you, and you realize that child is solely dependent on you, they can't do anything without you. You have to feed this child. You have to clothe this child. You have to bathe this child. This child can do nothing without you. And you raise that child from age 0 to age 3 or 4, and some clown comes and puts them in a trash can. I mean, your instinct is going to kick in and say, I have to protect my child. And that's just the reality that exists in a situation like this. Simple and plain. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. This is a hard situation to really deal with. And it just really make you really examine yourself. And it's gonna get deeper. We're not in the depths yet. It's gonna get deeper. You got anything out?
A lot.
Con, let's continue.
Now let's put it in context. Let's put it in context. The Hebrew Israelites are out in the street telling Black people not to treat each other like this. It has to be your religion not to treat each other like this. But you have people that have made it their job and their life's mission to shout us down before you hear us even bring our message. What are they doing to stop that?
Right.
Where is the Christian church to stop that? Where is Islam to stop that? They picked up the brother's child and threw him in the garbage in broad daylight and filmed it on Facebook Live. I'm gonna put it back on the screen. I asked my rib, I said, are you going to stay with me if I forgive the men who did this to our son? She had to look at the ceiling.
That's real.
What's the name of the class, Aubrey?
It's wicked to be wicked.
It is wicked to be wicked. So now you understand the importance of our elders. Now you understand the importance of our ministry, the need for us to teach our people how to conduct themselves, the need for us to push our laws and our culture, because this is the alternative. This is your alternative.
Right.
I'm gonna stop disgracing the young man. We're not gonna show that no more for the rest of the class. Okay? Y'all are gonna get to a point where you understand how important it is to keep the commandment.
That's right.
Y'all are gonna get to a point where you understand camp brothers who have camp and teach the scriptures. You're gonna get to a point where you understand how important it is to have that type of leadership in your city. Brothers who are under the vibration that we push out can't do that. It's abomination. I would never do that. That little dude ain't do nothing to me. Matter of fact, I can't even behave like this and jump out of this car right now.
Right.
That's hard. That one's hard. That'll make you tired. That thinking about that, because that's like bro. Even the most humble brother is going to violate you for doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Hey, you got to.
Got some, man.
I asked her, I said, if I ran down on the dude who did that and I didn't shoot him, I don't want to go to jail and throw my life away. But I filmed it while I beat him with my pistol. I split him open, leave him with a memory, and then I put him in the garbage. Are we even? She had to look at the ceiling.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, I don't know if you caught that. If you're watching the screen like this, like I'm watching it, but Matakayan, he put, I'm confounded. I'm confounded. He like, you know, like what would I do? It's confounding. But this is a sad reality that our people live day in and day out. These things happen, and this is why people get murdered. This is why people get shot up, why parties get shot up. This is why none of this makes any sense, because all of it is avoidable. But yet, when things happen, this is why things happen at the pace that they happen. It escalates to ridiculousness quite quickly. And before you know it, bullets are flying and people are hurt. People are dying. Yeah. Makaya said, I'm confounded. I don't know what to say. I mean, I want to keep the way of the Most High, but I have to protect my son.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? Let's continue. This is good stuff. We're not even to the end yet. I mean, it's gonna get deeper. It's gonna get deeper. So let's continue.
Are we even? She had to look at the ceiling.
Yeah. Hey.
She had to think. Because are we even? I had to take you off here, brother. And that's what's wrong with our nation. That's why you have Chicago. That's why you have Florida. That's why you got the inner city in New York. That's why you got Gary, Indiana. That's why you have Watts, Compton, what you have going on in LA. That's why you got St. Louis. That's why because brothers are facing these type of civil rights violations from their own people. And the only retribution is I got to take you off here. And then Esau stands back and goes, he does this. Yep. On black crime. Look at what y'all doing. He doesn't understand the dynamic, but he lives it. When you knock down Esau's building, what did he do? Did he forgive you?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
What?
He destroyed your country. When you flew a plane into Esau's battleship, did he forgive you? He dropped the nukes, Ak. He nuked you. When Esau put us in the bottom of boats and hung us in the streets and took pictures, did we forgive him? Yes. And who commanded it of us? The Black church.
Sick. Sickness. I don't want. That's why you say to be a black man in America, you're demanded to be insane.
You have to be insane.
All right. So the reason that you see them looking at each other on the screen and kind of smiling, because they understand what I understand, and I hope you understand as well. these situations that warranted immediate get back were not always met with immediate get back. Some situations they were. There were rebellions, slave rebellions, things of this nature where our people fought against the adversary and were able to stop the ship from even making it to the coast. Those situations did occur. Unfortunately, they didn't occur enough. But even once we got to the land, to this land, rebellions continued, but not enough, because we should have 100% rebelled on these heathen and tried our best to take everything that we could from them. And it should be the opposite for us right now. We should be in opposite. We should be the ones in charge, and they should be the ones in service. However, because the Most High was not with us, we weren't able to do those things. So we've gotten to the place that we are now, where our own people are oppressing us in the same, if not worse manner than the oppressors are.
Come.
So that's why you see the brothers looking at each other smiling, because they understand this. And that's what they're talking about. I don't know if they go into that much detail about it, but it's going to get deeper. But let's continue. You got anything on that before I continue?
Well,
Okay, Con, let's go.
You cannot be sane. I know a lot of people leaving the clubhouse. They coming over to the class. They trying to see that. I'm not showing that no more. That's crazy for that young man.
Right.
I don't even know what to say to him to build him up, to lift his spirits up, because he has to feel so unsafe, you know? Around his own people, he has to feel so unsafe because that happened to him. And that is why we have a closed community.
Con, so I think the only thing in that situation you can say to that young man is it would have to be Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah Barakatha. I think that's the only thing that would be able to give him any kind of peace, is to say that to him. And not only say it to him, but teach him what it means. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Barakatha.
Con, that's the only hope, honestly.
Con, it is. It's got to be. It's got to be. Nothing else would suffice in that situation. What else you gonna tell the young man? You're gonna be all right? Nah. Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah Barakatha.
Con.
That's why when you watch that camp video of them girls fighting, we stayed with ours. You see that?
Yep.
We stayed with ours. There was women and children already there with us. And did they go over there? No. They stayed with us. Because what you don't understand, the people that was calling us cowards and saying why y'all didn't go be Superman and Bruce Wayne and Batman and Robin, because we see fights every single day in the park.
All the time.
The reason we didn't go Batman and Robin is because this. Go back to Cyrac. Give me 11 and 10.
Who's the other one?
Cyrac 11 and 10. Give me that.
Con. It's the book of Cyrac, chapter 11 and verse 10. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent.
This is the thing. If we inject ourselves into situations that have nothing to do with us outside of our jurisdiction, the Bible says you're not going to remain innocent.
Right.
How can I remain innocent if we move to go break up a fight and then one of those girls come and strike one of the women with us?
Right.
Are you going to forgive them? Sisters, you're at camp, you're eating your chips and your mango and your honeydew melon, and a sister in the park walks up, hauls off, and punches your daughter right in the face, are you gonna forgive them? Are you gonna say, "Oh, don't hit her. That was wrong, but I forgive you, sister"?
Right.
This is why it is wicked to be wicked. Because now we have to get retribution.
Yep.
Oh, you found the clip?
I said,
Yeah, we found it.
You know what? Play the clip, man. Let them see the full context.
that's why I sent it to you. I sent it to your phone. My own computer run the mass low.
This is crazy.
It's wild. It was so it happened in New York, and it's on Snapchat. Like they was Snapchatting. So it's like the person's Snapchat story is what they screen recorded. Yeah, y'all gonna see. It's crazy. We sound like 11 and 9.
God, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 9. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not.
This wisdom. So when we have a situation like these, and the scriptures teach us the Bible, our forefathers are teaching us to strive not in matters that don't concern us.
Right.
I mean, Sirach told you to mind your business, right? Because you don't know in what way. Okay, we grab them sisters. Y'all stop it now. And you got to put your hands on them because
you got to put your hands on them.
They run away in the rain. Go get their brothers.
Or they get on the phone.
They get on the phone. These niggas, they did this. They touched me.
Put their hands on me.
They put their hands on me. And then what?
Now pistols being drawn.
Now pistols and I gotta get home. I got a son.
I have a daughter. I gotta go see her.
I gotta get home.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, I think any brother with a concealed weapon feel like he got to get home, and that's the reality. But man, are you gonna pull that pistol out on somebody that look like you and unload that joint? I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. But think about it. Think about it. I got to get home to my children, my wife, my children. I got to get home. So am I going to let this person keep me from doing that? They coming with theirs, I'm coming with mine. Man, that's some heavy thinking for you. That's some heavy thinking. You got to look yourself in the mirror while you're thinking about that. Let's continue.
So you weigh that situation out.
Right.
I'm gonna play this. Watch this.
Come in.
Look what it say though.
Yeah, where you going, bro? Where you going? Come here. What's up? What's up?
He's running.
Yeah, come here. Where you going, bro? Where you going? Come here. What's up? What's up? Yeah, come here. Where you going, bro? Where you going? Come here. What's up? What's up? Yeah.
I ain't playing that no more. I ain't playing that no more. They ran down on him, and the end result was his son ended up in a public city garbage can, and they mocked it. I'm trying to be a godly man. I want to keep the commandments. I want to see the kingdom of God, but you're in my way if you do this to me.
Right.
That's Satan.
It's wicked.
It's wicked to be good.
I can't sleep. I'm trying to find you. But if you like that dude who was running away with his son, he's pushing a stroller, running like, I got to get away from these dudes. You're losing your relationship. Your rib is leaving you.
For sure.
For sure.
There is no way that you can maintain your relationship after that. Because either you got to revenge that or we're done.
Right.
Handle that.
But look what you did to me. Go to Sirach 28:1.
The book of Sirach.
Look what you did by you being wicked and doing that to me and ruining my life, basically.
Yeah.
This is the situation you put me in, because the only way to restore my life is to seek vengeance. But if I seek vengeance, I'm going against my God.
Right.
So look at the bind you put me in.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the class?
Wicked to be wicked.
It doesn't just it doesn't just affect you. Sirach 28:1. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
Say it again.
He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
So because I had to get that back for my son's honor, the Most High gonna punish me? But I didn't do anything. He did that to me. The only people in the world today who are trying to keep you out of this situation are the Hebrew Israelites.
Exactly.
That's it.
We're the only people that love you enough to stop you from doing this before it even happens and can give you the proper context of what it even means to be wicked towards somebody of your own nation.
Right.
We're the only people that can explain that to you. Are we not going into the Bible and making it plain?
God.
Read it again. Read it one more time.
Sirach 28:1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
So Yahweh, I gotta let the dudes that threw my only son, the beginning of my strength, into the garbage. I gotta let that go. And I gotta take the ridicule and mockery that comes with it. Yes. But what man can bear that? And why should he have to? The older brother could do is exclaim.
This is the only thing you can do at that point.
Oh.
You're cut.
This is gonna make a lot of y'all think about how y'all treat people.
Oh, yeah.
See, because the Christians on the app are so busy demonizing us, they cannot prepare you for this circumstance and walk you through it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Slakia. Where's their teaching? What people are going and running to these Christians on this app to help them to deal with this type of situations that unfortunately plague our communities every day? These Christians don't have a room dealing with the young brothers in Chicago that feel like they got to get it back because they lost their brother, their mother, etc.
That's why they're doing that.
That's why they're doing that. The Christians, they only worried about, I got to destroy these Israelites. Yep. I got to destroy that doctrine. They're not getting prepared for these type of lessons.
I guarantee you they got a room open right now talking about how to dismantle the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. I guarantee you right now.
Right this second.
See, Esau will go to Afghanistan and then his brother will drive over a mine and he will be destroyed, lose his arms, half of his face.
Yep.
And Esau will come back to America and join the special forces and train for 6 months and ask to be deployed and sent back there. And he'll keep a tally on his wall of how many insurgents he's killed.
Yep.
And no one is going to say, hey, that's hate. Nope. But then we don't have the ability to comprehend the young brother in Chicago who was just at a party and some idiots gunned down his girl and his friend, and he has to live with the recurring nightmare. And then he says, you know what? Nah. And he straps up and he goes on a mission. He gets criticized and called a subhuman.
Right.
But it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
What's the name of the class?
Wicked to be wicked.
That is why it's wicked to be wicked. And the only person that's going to look at it from the black man's point of view with sympathy and understand the humanity of the black man is the Israelite. No one else will. They will just demonize you. They will mock you on every opportunity they get and make fun of your undying affection and love for your own people. They will make you an offender for being that type of person. But they have no comment on the soldier who just got a Purple Heart and he was killing civilians.
Civilians, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That man is a hero.
Right.
Protector of the country.
Yep.
What I tried to do is get y'all to think tonight and to see the dire consequence of our behavior and the ripple effect it has on our people, and to get you to become responsible going forward in an effort to change the way that you look at our ministry as Israelites and our plight as so-called black people in this country.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You have people that say when you discuss your history that you're playing the victim.
Yep.
But historically, there's a nation of people who have museums dedicated to their history and movies made about their history too. And it's done with sympathy and love and care. And remember, it's a hate that mutates.
Right.
Remember,
Him who hath an ear, let him hear.
exactly. Don't got no definition. It mutates.
It mutates. But the hate against us has always mutated. At first it became we don't care, you ain't gonna do nothing. Then it became, oh, let go of the past. Then it became, oh, you're playing the victim.
Victim mentality. Yep.
Shaw Park just hit me up. Hold on a second. Say something for a minute.
Salakia, I got a quick precept real quick, right? Because what I'm noticing is that this class is really targeting spiritual maturity, right? It's time for us to become more mature in the spirit, Israel. It's time for us to become more mature in this truth. That's why the Adawan is cutting everybody on this class right now, right? Would you forgive those brothers for doing that to your child? All of y'all said no, right? All of you said no, man. But you have to move. You have to move in this type of spirit right here. This is going to cut everybody again, including myself, right? This is Acts chapter 7 and verse 59. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon God and saying, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. They were stoning Stephen to death. And he still asked that the Most High God forgive them of their sin, man. He asked the Most High God to forgive them of this murder that they're committing against him in the midst of him getting bust in the head with bricks. That's a whole nother level of that's just a whole nother level, man. That's truly a whole nother level. And that really goes to show you how much more we have to grow and mature in this thing, man. How far we have to go, right?
That even goes. So like that one, you can go ahead.
No, you got it.
So that even goes with you brothers and sisters that you feel like, oh, it wasn't no big trespass, but you lied on a brother,
right?
Or you said something to a sister that she didn't take so lightly, but you didn't care about reconciling. Even a minute situation is still wicked to be wicked because the other party still has to forgive you.
Right.
It don't gotta be as extreme as somebody putting your child in a trash can,
which is crazy.
The only reason why the elder had to put that in your face like that, so you now have that you are seeing
that visual. You
got the visual now.
Right.
Now you understand, like, dang, bro, that's how the sister felt when I did this.
Yep.
That's how the brother felt when I did that.
Yep.
You felt violated, and now I have to sin to move forward.
Right.
I I can't feel no other way, but now you understanding this, you can. Okay, I apologize, sister. I apologize, brother, for what I did. I hope that you know that you can forgive me for these things. You coming even more humble, other than saying, "Oh, you wicked for not forgiving me."
Right?
Ain't it? You trespassed against me. Now you're pointing the finger, saying you gotta forgive me.
Right.
Proud as hell.
Wicked.
Very wicked. That'll even make me more mad because you're so proud.
That's extremely hateful. While we're teaching this lesson, Christians are in the chat talking about who said Esau was European, missing the whole point. They'll never get it. They'll never be deep enough to understand. Adawan Shawapar asked for Numbers 35 and verse 6.
God. The book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 6. And it reads, and among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities of refuge, which ye shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither. And to them ye shall add 42 cities.
Read.
So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall ye give with their suburbs.
Come on.
And the cities which ye shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few ye shall give few. Everyone shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to his inheritance which he inherited.
Read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye become over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares.
So even in the Bible, there's a refuge city for the manslayer to go hide, because there's going to be people looking for his head.
Right.
And they're speaking from the paradigm of it's going to, our hands are tied. These men are going to come and judge you for what you have done. Read on.
God. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment.
So basically the vigilante, you're protected from the vigilante with the law, because the vigilante is a judgment. He was sent to judge you for what you've done. Brothers is going to crash out and become vigilantes for their children.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip 2 weeks ago? They was posting it all over Instagram. The police officer killed the man's son, and he waited till his daughter got old, to the prom, and waited till she came out of that prom and judged and then put his hands up and waited for the police to come and said, take me.
Yep.
They say he was saying an eye for an eye.
Yep, that's what he was saying, an eye for an eye. He kept saying that over and over.
Now you want to demonize that man. I know you do, but why did you judge his son to the death? And this is where the hypocrites come in. And now there's a reason why your son can be slaughtered. There's a reason why. Israel, the only people who are actively trying to protect you from this wicked cycle is the Israelites. No one else loves you or cares about you that much.
That's right.
They're not going to educate you or explain to you how to emotionally handle this. And we're trying to. That's right, sister. We're trying to teach you how to emotionally handle this. But first, you got to be walked through it. I have to sit and think on Yahweh. You teach forgiveness, but you just admitted that you got to get this back. Which means that Satan can beat you. See? But did I go outside and do that to someone's child? No. But if it happens to me, Do I have the spiritual skill to overcome the rage and deal with the immaturity of the people that surround me who also are going to want to get it back? What makes it even worse is if you don't do anything and then another family member does something, it makes you look even worse.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
You a sucker. You weak. I had to do it because you wasn't going to do nothing, Israelite, man. Do you see the situation that they created by doing that? Israel. We have to break away from this world. And our gathering has to become holy. Tomorrow, Feast of First Fruits. Do you know how important it is to see children play safely, women sit safely, unmolested, and men in complete brotherhood sit around in agreement? Do you know how important that is? Because the alternative is what we just went over. Okay? What's the name of the class?
Wicked to be wicked.
Israel. Type it in the chat. What is the name of the class? On the Clubhouse, if you are listening, type it in the chat. What is the name of the class? And I want you to think on this and pray on this. What is the name of the class? Think about the things you say. Think about how you affect other people's lives and the decisions that you make. Think about it. Stop moving so selfishly and accept that your actions have an effect on everyone around you.
Yep.
And become a better person. I'm gonna say that one more time. Stop living so selfishly and come to the understanding. First of all, when you make a room that calls Hebrew Israelites evil and you tear the brothers down, do you know that has a ripple effect?
Right.
So as a people, we have to stop living in a way where we are inconsiderate to the choices that we make and how it affects our brothers and sisters around us and become better people. And become the wise and understanding nation that we were set up to be.
That's right. That's right.
Your nation has fallen. Your young men are throwing the princes into the trash. Esau didn't have to do nothing. All he did was make the platform that he could broadcast it on.
That's it.
So, I'm going to continue to fast from Clubhouse and giving them my scholarship and energy because they don't appreciate it over there.
No.
Like I said, brothers took a picture. Brothers screenshotted pictures of me and saved it to their phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then showed the pictures later and tried to mock me with a picture that I posted of myself. I love that picture. And then when they see it didn't hurt me, they began to mock my son. See?
Right.
See? That's the same thing like throwing my boy into the garbage. And the vicious rage that came over me, I had to subdue it and I had to fall back from the app because the only feeling that's left is hatred. Right. And I never did nothing to those guys.
No, never.
Never. But it's wicked to be wicked. So now they choices bubbled up a feeling of hatred in me, but hatred, I'm in the offense.
Yeah, right.
It's wicked to be wicked.
What'd you say, Amari?
It's wicked to be wicked.
Stop doing that.
Hey, Salakia.
Go ahead.
They don't even understand, like, it's people that care about you and your son at the same time. So just like it's affected you, it's a ripple effect to everybody else too.
Affects
Right.
all of us.
Right.
So now you got not only you got you in that situation, but there's other brothers that stuck with that same hatred on them
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation. Like, man, and y'all all meditating on that situation, and then it's like, all right,
I want to see these.
I want to see.
I want to see. I gotta see you now. You see?
It gets real.
It gets there. So
We can't be wicked.
Yaquab didn't know about that. Yaquab didn't know.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm past it now. And it motivated me to make this lesson to make Israel 1% better. 1% is a lot. 1% better is a lot.
God.
it's like
Go ahead, Doc.
Kyle, I had a quick precept just based off the lesson and things that you're saying.
Bring it out.
Kyle, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, starting at verse 32. Just going into the sentiment that it's wicked to be wicked. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So if you read earlier in the chapter, it talks about a man that steals. But according to the law, he just has to repay that. That could be forgiven. Then it goes on to say that, but a man, you sleep with another man's wife, you can't give him a gift. Now his rage is going to overtake him. He's going to have to, he's going to want to see you. He'll only be satisfied when you're dead. But you put that man in that situation,
Right.
he ain't do nothing to you according to Proverbs 6. You laid with his wife, and now he got to kill you. You feel like him. Solomon seems to understand that sentiment that you can't pay him no gift for. He's not going to forgive you for that. So it's a foolish thing. It's wicked to be wicked.
It's wicked to be wicked. Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? Oh man.
But the God, listen, the God that you serve, he still wants you to forgive. Your son was picked up by his foot and thrown in the garbage. And the God that you serve is looking at you saying, do you want revenge for that? Or are you going to forgive because you want me to forgive you, right? See, you don't even know who you serve. But you brothers on the earthly level, look at the situation that you created and the hurt,
Right?
Slack,
mental
yeah.
anguish that your choice has caused. And this is every inner city in America. You killed my homie. Oh my God, that was my man. We grew up together.
You there, Doc?
You were shooting at him, but it was a stray and it hit my daughter.
Yeah. Right.
You laid with my girl. Oh, what did we just read?
Yes. Right. That's it.
You stole my car. My pops bought me that car and you wrecked it, and I see you. You took my chain, went on the internet and bragged about it, and I see you.
Yep.
This is every single day.
Yep.
And until we learn how to treat each other as holy, these situations will continue to happen over and over. And our people don't know the truth and do not have the emotional maturity to deal with this challenge, because you practicing Israelites today in my focus group proved that you don't have the emotional maturity to deal with that challenge.
It's facts.
Asha'Allah just yelling.
God.
I don't want to answer that. Because he's thinking about his precious princess, right? I'm thinking about my boy. So I had to fast from Clubhouse. Y'all can have y'all negativity and y'all useless conversation. And we're going to continue to build as a camp and a body and a nation. Tomorrow, I'm going to be with HOI, keeping the Feast of First Fruits. The brothers, the loyal men that's remained with me. It's wicked to be wicked.
Wicked to be wicked, Adawan.
Brothers violated, man,
For sure.
and slandered, and then threw dirt and then put salt.
And then did like this.
And then just we just forgot about it. We just
hide their hand.
nothing to say.
And y'all all gotta forgive, right?
Yep.
Or you're wicked.
Or you're wicked.
Do y'all see? So our gatherings have to be so important and so holy.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, the loyal men of Sons of Thunder are going to be in Atlanta. Make sure y'all send an email and get in there for Feast of First Fruits.
Right.
And come with the right spirit. Don't come with no folly, or you're going to be bounced out of there. And I'm gonna go be with the honorable men of House of Israel, Lord willing, and keep the first fruits 750 miles away from them. While you arguing on Clubhouse why you can't do first fruits at all because you're not in the land.
No land.
Hey, brothers, I got to get off here, man. Do y'all want to leave any closing statements?
It's wicked to be wicked.
It's wicked to be wicked.
Dan Bo said, I emailed you and got no response. I just want to donate. I only use Zelle. Do y'all use Zelle? Send us an email. I'm going to check the emails, man, and get back to you by tomorrow. Okay? So back to what we're discussing. Watch this lesson again. Go through all of the feelings again. And think about the way you behaved and talked to people and choices you've made. And then ponder what's the difference between what you just saw and your violation. And let's become better people and let's treat each other better. And then the people that are criticizing the Israelites will look even more stupid. All right? So with that, I'm going to yield. We are the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. Khan. All right? We're going to go onto the call and we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Make sure that when you call in, your phone is on mute. We're going to send up the prayers in the Hebrew. And we're going to bring the Sabbath in right. All right, Israel? 1% better. Treat each other like gods in the earth, not like garbage. Until the Most High returns, that's the way we're going to move. Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you for watching. You can support the body via Cash App or PayPal. You can also support the channel by joining our Patreon for exclusive videos and content that can't be found.
Shalom, Mark. You there?
Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. Shalom.
All right. So now we lost Kenanaya. Did you come back on the screen link? I got you on the messenger, but not on screen link. Try the screen link again, so we can give our final thoughts on here. All right. Okay. Yeah, try the screen link because anyhow, so okay, here we go. Kenanaya back. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, now we're good. All right. So so real quick here, just going over our last final thoughts here. A harsh situation, but a valuable lesson. You know, we got to protect our children. We got to protect our parents. We got to protect our loved ones. Does that mean that we got to put ourselves in a situation that we don't want to be in? How do we keep out of these situations if at all possible? I'll tell you, I don't know if they mentioned, I don't think that they mentioned, but one way to keep out of situations that we shouldn't be a part of is by keeping the commandments. So by keeping the commandments, that'll keep us out of situations that we shouldn't be dealing with, that we shouldn't be in. Keeping the commandments. So keep that in mind as you go about your operations. Now, am I saying that the brother only that was running with the stroller, that he wasn't keeping the commandments? I don't know. I don't know the brother. I don't know the situation, the specifics, whatever the case. Nevertheless, Dawid said, I've never seen a righteous man nor his seed begging bread. So Most High is going to take care of those who are his. So it behooves us to be in the best possible situation with him. I greatly hope that this particular video review provokes some great thought in ourselves, and that we can come to a conclusion as to where we are now and work on where we really need to be. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. This is a long video. Go ahead,
Kanak, looking at how y'all all approached the situation of the level of hate that he had received, it's something to be, not idolizing, but just admiration. He appears to be very level-headed on how he dealt with that situation, and you could tell that it was upsetting. It prompted the study. It prompted him to bring out this study. I think we all have an issue or have trouble not wanting to get physical with someone who harmed our child. But you had talked about, before we got started, you talked about how the Most High had forgiven us as a people for putting his son on the stake.
Yeah.
So right. It's something that we have to be able to forgive. We got to be able to do it. Now we can read in the law that it's some things that warrant death, and justice, mercy, and faith are weightier matters of the law. I'll just leave it there.
Good. Well, definitely a thought-provoking review, which is why we had to go to this particular video. We don't like to do 2.5-hour classes if at all possible, but I think this was warranted, and I think it definitely helps us to examine ourselves and to get an understanding as to what's going on, where am I at, and where do I need to be, and get some work in process to get to that point. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And we're going to close, of course, with the book of Ecclesiastes chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, we will be judged on whether we feared the Most High and kept his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man. When everything is said and done and all the dust is settled, all the smoke is cleared, at the end of the time, we will be judged, or rather, we feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the entire reason that we were made. I am your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Akinanaya, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel, who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom wa Baruchim. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation under the Most High Power, under one covenant. Until that day, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Baka.